what I first want to say is how much I appreciate all the volunteers and everyone across the community that on their own that they've stepped up and helped, made sure their neighbors were safe, helped clean up immediately after the storm, when it was in its worst over the weekend. And now we're seeing us coming together and cooperate in such a great level on the local, county, state, and even the federal level. We're taking this opportunity this morning to bring you up to date on where we are as a city as we again walk through to the next phase in this operation, transitioning from obviously a hurricane situation over the weekend to now a significant flooding event which continues to unfold. As of 9 a.m., the water level in the city of Greenville along the Tar River is 22 feet plus. The projection is still to reach close to 25 feet in the city of Greenville late Wednesday afternoon. I want to continue to emphasize the mandatory evacuation areas in the city of Greenville north of the river, south of Belvoir Road as far east as Bradford Creek, south of the river, north of First Street, between Pitt Street and Brownlee Drive, as well as Riverwalk Apartments and Dockside neighborhoods. The next item on our agenda is to talk about managing this city throughout the process. What we're moving back is back into a curfew this evening. The curfew will be in effect starting at 12:01, just past midnight this evening, running till 6 a.m. This is a proactive measure to protect the property and the individuals throughout this city that are concerned. What we've seen is some people have been a little reluctant to leave their area because they were concerned that it was not going to be protected, that people may be around those areas. I can't be forceful enough to say this right now. Any activity in those areas will not be tolerated. Our thought now is with the water really starting to exceed where we know that many people will be evacuating today, as this starts to crest towards tomorrow, we're going to be very proactive in managing those areas. Chief?
Sure. Yeah, since this event occurred, we've more than doubled our police officers on the street. So there are a lot of police cars out, a lot of blue lights running around. More than half of those officers are working in the designated mandatory evacuation areas. And so we have a group assigned north of the river in the mandatory evacuation area and south of the river in the mandatory evacuation area. The question to whether or not we've seen looting, we have seen burglaries take place overnight, last night, in the area south of the river in the mandatory evacuation area. The good news with that is the officers that were working that grid area did in fact make 2 arrests and recovered a number of pieces of property and even some firearms that were stolen out of some homes. We're going to continue to enforce that mandatory evacuation area, and that's another reason for the curfew as well. We're back and forth about a curfew, and it really does send the signal that the community that we're still under a state of emergency. We're still having some issues that we're trying to deal with, and it drains our resources when our officers are out doing other things. So it helps us pull our officers where they're needed most, and that is one of the reasons for a curfew.
I've said it, so many people call in the past day and a half, and we've been taking those calls here in our operations center. I know Salvation Army has heard from a lot of people, as well as the county EOC. So many people want to reach out and give right now. They want to help families and those that are displaced. What we have set up is a county volunteer coordinator. And to reach them, they're in the process of standing up that entity right now here in the city of Greenville. And the head coordinator, the best way to reach them at this point is 252-902-3990. Again, 252-902-3990. We also have a number here with the City of Greenville EOC if anyone wants to call the Emergency Operations Center, and that number again is 329-4164, 329-4164.